Hey, welcome to this short video with a little instruction on the book of Acts. I wish I could really instruct and spend time with video with you, but since this is an online course, we're not in the classroom and just can't do that. But I want to give you a few introductory thoughts about the book of Acts as you read along with number 4, your online lesson. For instance, the book of Acts, there's a key verse in chapter 1, verse 8. And that verse says this: Jesus said, "Ye shall be witnesses unto me in Jerusalem and Judea and all Samaria and unto the uttermost parts of the earth." Now, a lot of people overlook that, or at least they really don't understand the big picture there. But what Jesus is doing is he's actually giving an outline for the book of Acts. For instance, think about what he said there. He said, "Ye shall be witnesses unto me first in Jerusalem and Judea." That would be the first section. Then he said Samaria, that would be the second, and also Caesarea. And then he said to the uttermost parts of the earth. Now understand, he's already called his church out. He began doing that on the shores of Galilee when he began to call them out to follow him and become fishers of men. So as they began to follow him, and they spent about 3 years with him, now we're here in the book of Acts. We're here at his 10th post-resurrection appearance. You know what's about to happen in chapter 1 in Acts. He's about to ascend and go back to the Father. That's about to happen in these verses that we're looking at here, verse 8 and the verses that follow. And so they've been following him for almost 3 years, right around 3 years. Now, as they follow him, he talks about the kingdom. He gives teachings concerning the kingdom, such as parables, saying the kingdom of heaven is like unto, or the kingdom of heaven is as a man who went into a far country. He constantly talks about the kingdom. Now, even though this is his church, they are concerned with the kingdom, and the kingdom to them is a literal, physical, political kingdom, the kingdom of Israel on this earth, with a king ruling over them. Now, Jesus has been teaching them and training them and preparing them for what's about to happen, his ascension. He's going back, and as they, his church, stay here on earth, they're going to carry out the commission he's already given them in Matthew 8, or chapter 28, verses 18 through 20, "Go ye into all the world and preach the gospel." And so as they carry this out, keep in mind their Jewishness, their Jewish background. They're thinking kingdom. They're thinking temporal kingdom. Matter of fact, prior to verse 8, they have already asked the question, "Lord, wilt thou restore unto us at this time the kingdom?" Jesus answers that question by saying, "It's not for you to know the times nor the seasons which the Father hath put in his hand, but ye shall receive power after that the Holy Ghost has come upon you." And then he says, "And ye shall be witnesses unto me." And then he gives these 3 different geographical areas. So he's preparing them for something that he's actually been talking to them about it, but now it's going to become real with them, especially when they as a church become empowered in chapter 2 on the day of Pentecost to carry out the commission. So think back to chapter 1, verse 8, and think of these 3 divisions. Jerusalem and Judea, that's actually carried out in the book of Acts in chapters 1 through 7. Samaria, that's the second part, that's chapters 8 through 12. And then the uttermost part of the earth, that's chapters 13 on through 28, continuing on even today as the church continues to fulfill this commission. But keep in mind, Jesus gave them that outline in chapter 1, verse 8, and that's the pattern the book of Acts follows.